this part of the video I will talk about the Isotech IPS-2303 power supply. So to enable this, you simply push the switch, and as you can currently see, there are no readings on these displays. So to enable that, you push the switch, which in turn applies power to these terminals. So if you're not sure about your circuit, do not connect it yet. These two knobs control the voltage and current. Also, if you turn this all the way to the left, this power supply goes into constant current mode, and if you turn it to the right, it goes into constant voltage mode. In its current configuration is independent, meaning that you have the channel 2 slave power supply here, and you have the channel 1 master power supply here. Also, in this configuration you can set it up as a bipolar power supply, which I will now demonstrate. So what you do is, the positive of channel 1 becomes your positive voltage rail, the negative of channel 2 becomes your negative voltage rail, and you essentially short the positive of channel 2 with the negative of channel 1. And don't forget to adjust the voltage so that they are exactly the same. Which they are now. And also, if you're wondering, I connected these wires together so they are not loose, and a short circuit cannot happen. So if I turn on the multimeter and set it to measure DC current, DC voltage. So if I use the positive of channel 2 or the negative of channel 1 as my 0-volt reference, like so, I should now measure positive 10 volts on the positive of channel 1, which you can see, and I should now measure negative 10 volts on the negative of channel 2, which you can also see. Also, you can set up a bipolar power supply using the series configuration, which I will also demonstrate. Also, remember to turn the output switch back on so you can see your readings. Also, what has happened is that the master power supply has taken over, so these switches, well, the voltage switch has no effect. However, if you turn the switch all the way to the left, it turns into a constant current power supply. So if you want to use this as a bipolar power supply, remember to keep it in constant voltage mode. So anyway, if you want to use this as the bipolar power supply, use the positive of channel 1 as your positive voltage rail, use the negative of channel 2 as your negative voltage rail. You no longer have to connect this, as it's internally connected, so you can simply use this green lead as your 0-volt reference rail. And like before, I'll show you. This is the 0-volt reference rail, so I should now get 10 volts, like so, and I should get negative 10 volts here. And to prove that internally connected, I'll do this, and you should see the same values. Positive 10 volts, negative 10 volts. Not only can you use this as a bipolar power supply, but you can also use this in its series configuration. So what happens is, as these two terminals are connected, you have now got double the voltage but the same current capability. So if I show you using the multimeter probes, you should now have 20 volts, which you do. One final thing I want to show you is that you can set this in parallel configuration by pressing this switch, and don't forget to press this switch. So what's happened now is that you have doubled your current capability, but you still have the same voltage. So you can connect your circuit to either of these terminals, which you can see you get 10 volts here and you get 10 volts here. So anyway, you can connect your circuit to any of these terminals and you'll be able to source double the current. And that is it for this power supply.